Thank you for your amazing work and your outstanding dedication to the library. We know you have lots of volunteer options out in the world, but you choose to volunteer at the library, and we are so appreciative of that. And to let you know how grateful we are, we have this once-a-year event, and we wish we could do it more often. But we're just so grateful to you and so appreciative, so thank you so much. And please know that your work does truly make a difference. It really does. And so now, to kick off our event, we have a video to share with you, created by our amazing outreach and marketing coordinator, Laura Farrell, and a few of her friends who came together with this idea to just say thank you in a super creative way.
Libraries throughout Stanislaus County benefit from the help of community
Hold please, technical
volunteers.
difficulties.
Well, as you know, we have an outstanding library system here.
Libraries throughout Stanislaus County benefit from the help of community volunteers.
Well, as you know, we have an outstanding library system here in Stanislaus County, and a team of extremely creative and talented staff, hardworking staff, that make this happen. But we really couldn't offer enough of the service that we're doing without our volunteers.
One of the ways that we use teen volunteers in the children's department is helping us keep things clean and straightened, helping us disinfect the toys in the toddler area, helping us clean books and clean shelves. They also get craft supplies ready for us for some of our bigger events. We also use teens during some of our big one-day events such as DIA, Harry Potter, Yule Ball, and Anime Day.
I coordinate our home delivery service for the library, and with the volunteers that participate in that program, we literally could not do the program without them. It's entirely staffed by volunteers. So these are people who are giving up their time and helping them find books. To the customers that they're serving, this is a lifeline to the outside world because many of these customers cannot leave their homes. So I am entirely thankful for every single volunteer that I have.
The amount of time they dedicate to the library out of their day, their personal time, they give it to the libraries to help out with different crafts and programs and interact with their families, and it's just great to have them there.
The Friends have been invaluable in helping us provide the level of service that we do during our Summer Reading Challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks again to Laura and crew for that amazing video. So next, I'd like to introduce some special guests. With us today is Congressman Josh Barber. and Jennifer Hidalgo representing State Senator Ana Caballero. And now, Congressman Harder will say a few words.
Thank you guys. I'll be brief because this really isn't about me, it's about all of you. But I just wanted to share, when I was young, I was a late bloomer in reading. I didn't read confidently until really the end of second grade, the beginning of third grade. And I would go after school every day to the Turlock Public Library. And we have the Turlock folks there, fantastic. And some of the folks that actually made a huge difference in my life were the volunteers who helped me pick out the books that were appropriate, helped me get really excited about reading. And it was really that summer between second and third grade that I kind of leapt from the bottom of the class of reading all the way to the top. And it was really a tribute to the immense amount of dedication that the volunteers at the Turlock Library put into it. I'm so grateful for that. And that's kind of what libraries used to be. 20 years ago, that was really all about making sure that not so confident second grader was able to get the help that he or she needed. But over the last 20 years, they've become so much more. And I think our library system is really the front line of all public service in our communities. They become a second home to so many people that need help, that need assistance, that want to make sure that we're getting them all the help that they need. And now, when I walk into the Modesto Public Library, I see folks who are working on resumes because they don't have a computer, maybe some folks who don't even have a home, but they're making sure that they are getting the help that they need because of our library system. When I go into our libraries, I see single moms applying for benefits. I see kids that are getting help after school on their homework. And all of that goes through the volunteers that are in this room that have put so much sweat and tears into this program. And so I just wanted to say thank you because it's made a massive difference on my life. But more than that, I know it's made a massive difference on our community here. And one of the best, one of the shining stars as we're celebrating today of our entire community is the public libraries that each and every one of you spend your time in. I now do all my office hours when I meet one-on-one with our constituents. I do them in our public libraries. You may have seen me out there. And I do it because I think that needs to be the communal gathering point for so many folks out there. So thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to celebrate the work you guys all do, and excited to have some cake too. Thank you.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Congressman Harder. We're honored to have you with us today. Thank you. So, coming up next, we have Stanislaus Library Foundation Chair Jane Manley, and she will introduce some of her board members, and they will be presenting Shining Star Awards. And Congressman Harder is also going to help with this process.
All right.
Thanks, Diane. I almost wanted to talk into this one, but I don't think it'll work. You've got mics on your tables, and you might want to try to use them if you want to get somebody's attention. But so before I go on, isn't this room amazing? Check out the walls. Here we have a casting call. So if you want to volunteer in our library system, there's some opportunities in the casting call area. Of course, there's our Hollywood sign if you want to take a photo there. But we have a real photo booth back there with the library logos on them. We have an area about cards, I think, back there. And then what else did I? Oh, the whole great director. That would be a great place for a photo over there. And then some famous folks over here you might want to meet. I see Humphrey. I see Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
I don't know the other.
Orlando Bloom.
Thank you. Showing my age. Anyway, please make sure you enjoy the room before you leave today because it is fantastic. And I have to thank library staff because I believe they were responsible for this, so let's give them a hand. And I want to just, before I go on to, where would we be without volunteers? You saw in the video what the children's librarian Modesto said. People go through books and clean them because they get dusty, they get dirty with use. The toys, there are toys in the toddler area that need to be cleaned because kids are touching them and using them, and we want them to be as clean as for the next group that comes in. So without all you and the other people who volunteer to do more for our libraries, we would be hard pressed to provide the services that we do. So the library thanks you, the foundation thanks you. So let's move on. Thanks for being here today. More importantly, thank you for the time that you donate to the library through your local library activities. Some of you volunteer to sort and sell books, which is a time-consuming and dirty job. Others repair them. You help with events, you donate time and money, and you do so because you believe, as the Congressman said, that the libraries are an important asset to our community. And we agree with you at the foundation. The Library Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and our job is to raise money for the library. So we raise money through fundraiser events, and we invite people to come and celebrate the libraries, and we turn around and give most of that money, about 80% of it, right back to the library for their programs. For summer reading program, for some teen programs, for Hoopla books, for email, for electronic materials. So we give that money right back to the library so they can use it for their programming. So let me introduce some of our board members. How about each of you stand up and stay standing while I introduce you? Okay. Over here we have Pat Corwood. She's one of our board members. Terry Gamboa. Carol Shower. Bob Gausman is over here. Susan Thomas is Thank you so much for being here today, and they will help me with the introductions in just a minute. I wanted to tell you about how the Shining Stars get selected. Our library communication manager, who's the dedicated and responsive Susan Lilly, right there on the camera, she starts the process by sending out nomination forms with the criteria on them to the library branches. How many of you know how many library branches there are? 13. So she sends out the forms to all the branches, to the librarians, and then to all the Friends of the Library groups. How many of you are part of a Friends of the Library group? Excellent. And to the foundation board members. So all those folks nominate individuals as Shining Stars, and then a selection committee sits down and reads through the nominations and makes a selection for the year. So thank you, Susan, for taking care of that important process and for all you do for the library for our board. So here's how this is going to go, and I know some of you could be a little nervous because you're not used to getting up in front of people, but what we'll do is we'll call your name. One of the board members will be up here and they'll say your name, and you come up and stand here so we can talk about how wonderful you are. Everybody can look at you. And then after we're done, you can say a few words. And then over here at this table, we'll give you certificates and a special little pin that you can wear, and the Congressman has certificates for you as well. Are you ready? So the first couple of honorees are going to be introduced by board member, Mr. Gautzman. So come on up, Bob, and then after Bob will be, I believe, Susan. Great. Ready to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jane. This is so exciting. It's not often you get a chance to actually thank people who are actually doing the actual work out here. All the superstars are out there in the limelight, but who's doing the actual work? You guys are. So it's nice to have you honored, and we sure, as you've already heard, you really are appreciated. Our first award winner, Richard Gilton from Gilton Solid Waste Management, for many years.
Is he here? Is
Richard here? No. I'm going to read this anyway. I'll be like, was it Clint Eastwood talked to an empty chair one time? Thank you for coming here today. You look fine. For many years, the Friends of the Cookdale Library has received support from Gilton for their used book sale, such as providing a dumpster for free. That costs money. We got it for free. Since 2016, Richard stepped up his support by providing the company's warehouse to store books. That's big money too. This provided a clean, dry, safe storage for all through the year with access to drop off more books or take inventory. An employee even helped move books a time or two on Saturday. Great. Nominators Colleen Cordano and Sharon Arpoica stated that the entire Tilton staff is accommodating when books need to be dropped off, and they appreciate the company's ongoing support of the Oakdale Library. Thank you, Richard! I've got a filter, I'll just insert him over here. He looks really good too.
I think our next person is here.
Oh, that's so exciting! Josephine House, come on down! Josephine, a volunteer, you're coming down! While you're making your way up here, by the way, you look a lot better than Richard. Wouldn't you agree? A volunteer for 10 years, a whole decade, Josephine dedicates 4 hours a week to tasks in the Turlock Library. Wow. She helps process discarded books so they can be sold or recycled. Definitely a worker bee. Her hard work and regular schedule keeps the book sale inventory moving. She's positive, friendly, focused, and punctual. All those I am not. I got here on time though today. Her nominator is Leah Hassett, and she stated, as the staff member tasked with processing and selling the discarded books, I'm very grateful that she is so generous with her time and energy. She has motivated a staff member to weed out a collection to keep up with Josephine's schedule. You're taking names, boy. She's a shining star. Give it up for her.
I didn't leave the books at the...
Oh, wait. Oh, you gotta leave.
Don't be afraid.
I didn't leave the books at the Turlock Library. And I also helped with the sale of the books. And right now I'm very nervous.
You're doing great.
Don't mind us.
You're doing great.
But it's fun to go to the books and I'll meet all the people and the library staff. You get a relationship like you do an employee relationship, except you don't get paid. But I have fun anyway. And they're stuck with me for 4 hours. 2 hours each day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That reminded me. Yeah, and here's a pen. A Shining Star pen. Sure, you want me to put it on here? All right, I'll try to make sure we do it in a way that doesn't hurt. All right. I think we got it. There.
Hi, I'm Susan Thomas, and the first Shining Star I'm going to introduce is Myra Castellanos. Is Myra here? As a dependable library volunteer, Myra can be counted on to fulfill her duties twice a week on a regular schedule. Her dependability makes a big difference in the workload of the library staff. They know that she will be there exactly as scheduled and will do what is asked of her and make sure she does it correctly. One of her most recent tasks was to methodically go through every picture book in the children's collection looking for rips and stains.
Wow.
With her help, repairs were made and books were replaced as needed. Talk about a big job. That sounds like a huge job. Myra is helpful, diligent, and a great asset to the Riverbank Library. Her nominator, Victoria Holt, states that she works quietly, is easy to work with, and truly appreciated by staff. Thank you so much, Myra.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be recognized as one of this year's Shining Stars. I really do enjoy volunteering for the library, and I hope to continue doing so. Thank you.
Shining Star pen. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for everything you do.
All the paparazzi is after her again. Next, I'm going to be speaking about the First United Methodist Church of Turlock. And this is going to be, Carmen Ingalls is going to come and represent the church. So come on up, Carmen. Thank you. For almost 15 years, the Friends of the Turlock Public Library has utilized the church social hall for its annual book sale, where thousands of dollars are raised for library expenses not covered by the county budget. During the early years, this fundraiser was nomadic, moving from one empty storefront to another, until Turlock's First United Methodist Church's social hall became the perfect solution. The book sale project has received support from church ministers, staff, council, and congregation. They consider their contribution as a gift to the entire community. According to nominator Hannah Renning, on behalf of the Turlock Friends Group, the church community's generous support makes it one of the library's shining stars. Thank you.
The church sent us a very nice letter that I'd like to share with you. Dear friends of the library, please accept our humble thanks for selecting First United Methodist Church as the recipient of the Shining Star Award. We are proud to support the important work of the community by providing space to organizations such as the Friends of the Library to support their endeavors. Please accept our sincere apologies for not being able to be in attendance today to receive the award in person. Pastor Charles Smith was looking forward to being with you. However, health concerns prevent him from being there today. I thought it might be because it's Easter weekend. Says he's not well. It has been our pleasure and our honor to have partnered with you these past years in facilitating your book sale. On behalf of the pastor, Charles Smith, and our entire congregation, we sincerely thank you for recognizing the church.
Most importantly, the pen. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. Of course.
Good afternoon. I have the pleasure of talking about Alfred Matthews Buick GMC Cadillac. Holly and Paul Curran brought their company to Friends of the Modesto Library as a sponsor. They made it possible for the Friends to host a summer reading challenge movie night for participants, as well as other events and programs that benefit the Modesto Library. Holly described their reasons for donating. It's so important for our community to give youth a place to dream and create. Our local libraries are a place to let children's imaginations soar. Visiting the library and taking books home teaches them to discover new worlds and dream of the future. Nominator Denise Nordell stated, the Karens have set a great example for other business owners and challenged them to follow their lead in supporting their local libraries.
Holly and Paul send their sincere sincere regrets for not being able to join us today. They had every intention of doing so, and then a family emergency came up, so they had to miss it. Mari's going to be my witness on this, because they did support the Friends of the Modesto Library, but when we called on them, we really tried to get them to donate to the foundation instead, because we figured the car dealership benefited the whole valley. Their donation should as well. And here's what Holly said. So I'm saying this to you, friends of Oakdale, friends of Turlock. She says, we are really challenging our peers, meaning other auto dealers in the various communities, to step up and to support their own local libraries. So I thought that was a really interesting way for them to position themselves. And we really, their donation took us to the next level in our events this year. We were able to do things that we have not been able to do before. So we are very grateful to businesses like them who really help us further the library's mission. So on behalf of them, thanks so much for the award.
Well, hello, my name is Pat Porwood, and this is a real honor today to be able to recognize these folks. All right, so it is Dallas and Gary Marsh. Would you please come forward? And I'm sure most everybody recognizes these two from everywhere. They're everywhere. And I would just like to tell you a little bit specifically about library things with them, although they've been involved in everything. This part of Modesto and part of Stanislaus County. Well, consistent and generous supporters of all things library. Dallas and Gary provide financial assistance and bowling vouchers as summer reading challenge incentives. Their business, McHenry Bowl, is a longtime corporate member of the Friends of the Modesto Library. But they're friends of all of our libraries, I just have to say, and the schools, and you name it. But anyway, over the last 10 years, their significant donations resulted in placing hundreds of books in the hands of our community's children. And as you all know, literacy is what we're working on in this county. The funds they donated purchased books at the library's book fair to give to local youth agencies. Personally, I'll say, I know how much they supported our past tax measure. Well, several tax measures we've had, but the last one, which got us 12 years, yay, so now we're down to 10 years. Did you want to sign up to be on the steering committee? I know. Okay, so and this library tax, as most everyone in this room would know, maintains our library funding by donating and taking active roles into this, keeping us going for all the kinds of, if we didn't have Measure S passed, we would not be here having our discussions, and we would have to have multiple more volunteers. So they helped tremendously with the tax measures. Their nominator, and I think this Ann Britton right there, okay, stated that Dallas and Garrett's star shines bright over the Modesto Library and the community at large. So well said. So thank you for being our shining stars.
I grew up at what now is the McHenry Museum. Was my library when I was a kid, and I loved going there. It was a way to get out of the house. It hurt me to see our library system fall apart following Prop 13, down to the point where I think Modesto was the only library open and like 20 hours a week. Ceres didn't have a library, Oakdale didn't have a library, Riverbank, Newman, Turlock, and when we first passed the first tax measure, it brought life back to our library system. I think it's so important for the community, so important for our kids, and it's been a pleasure for me to have her make me do all the work. Actually, she does all the work, but she makes me sign on all the time, and I'm so pleased to do it. And it's really her that deserves the honors. So anyway, thank you.
certificate from us, and then don't forget the pen.
Hi, my name is Carol Schauer, and I'm going to have the honor of introducing our last award recipients today, Kent and Ginger Johnson. I have been able to work with Kent and Ginger on a few years events, and I can just say that they're just lovely people, and they work so well together as a team too. They really do. So, by opening their beautiful home and garden as the venue for the Stanislaus Library Foundation's annual Authors Garden Gala, the Johnson's hospitality has enabled our organization to hold a successful event for a number of years. Kent and Ginger are the consummate hosts, concerned for the well-being of all their guests. They provide garage space for food setup, and they have a very beautiful garage, by the way. Most people just have a garage. Because how else could you have food in there? You know? And beverage delivery, and make sure the yard is ready with tables and chairs, and their yard is gorgeous, just spectacular. Kent even arranges ample parking with valet service, and Ginger makes elegant and delicious hors d'oeuvres. And sometimes we're so full, we're not sure we're actually going to go to the dinner because she does all of that on the day of the event. It's pretty amazing. The gala is our single fundraising event of the year, and without their gracious generosity, it would not be successful. We need a location for our event, and we kind of descend upon them for several days and weeks. So the entire foundation board agreed on this nomination, and we're very grateful for that.
Both Ginger and I have probably somewhat different reasons as to why we're so committed to the library system. I, like you, was Leo the late bloomer in my family. A product of 5 boys, born and raised in Turlock. And believe me, my mother got a gleeful smile when we all got on our bicycles, pedaled across town to the old Carnegie Library, and to give her a break and for our enrichment. Let's see, my lovely wife, lifetime educator, certainly has 100 reasons to be interested and support the library. I will say that the gala that we put on every year wouldn't be possible. We're very fortunate to have a lovely house, and it certainly lends itself well to events. We do our share of charity events, a few political events, but I don't think there's a group that we work with that doesn't have a more committed committee that shows up, works incredibly hard. My wife is the hostess with the mostest. She certainly adds to the event. I'm simply a mule. So anyway, thank you for the recognition.
We have the Shining Star Award, we have a certificate from our office, and then, of course, a pen. Of course. Thank you guys. Thank you for all you do.
I love our shining stars.
Yes.
That concludes our portion of the afternoon. Diane, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you. All right, let's have one more round of applause for our shining stars. So our volunteers contribute to the success of the library in many, many ways. So over the past year, 188 volunteers have contributed approximately 5,420 hours in service to their library. Wow. So, yeah, that's incredible. So if you could stand to be recognized when I announce the area in which you volunteer. If if you're here, does anyone volunteer in collection services? How about home delivery service? How about circulation? Circulation services, anyone? How about teen and children's services? And Learning Quest Adult Literacy Program. Do we have any computer instructors here? No one? Okay. They're busy. How about genealogy? The genealogy area. And in our reference area? For reference? Okay. How about in our community branch libraries? Just out there in the branch world. How about the Youth Services Outreach, or YSO as we call it? The folks that go out on the road and take the library out into the community. Work with those guys? No. Well, we'll get you signed up for that. How about our Friends of the Library groups? Here, folks. Our Library Foundation. And then library, I don't think we have any library advisory board members here, but they do a fabulous job of advising us whenever we have an issue come up and just being super advocates for the library. So we thank those 5 folks. All right. Oh, yes. So next, I would like to introduce the library's HR representative and volunteer coordinator, Joanne Henley. And Joanne will recognize some energetic volunteers who have contributed a super impressive amount of hours in 2018. Come on up, Joanne.
Hi everybody, I'm Joanne. I'm the Human Resources Rep and the Volunteer Coordinator. Can you guys hear me? No, can't tell. But I'd like to mention that I have the easy job of being the Volunteer Coordinator, and can you guys not hear me? Very good. Okay, sorry. So the people who do all the work are our site coordinators, like Laura and Sophia in the back. So if everybody could, I don't know if we have any of the other ones here, but if you guys could give them a hand, that would be great. The awards I'm going to be giving out are the Outstanding Volunteer Service Awards. These are from the Board of Supervisors, Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors. And these would be all the Stanislaus County volunteers who worked 100 or more hours in calendar year 2018. So I'll read the name, and if you're here, you can get your certificate from Josh Harder, and I'll also let you know how many hours these people have worked for us. So first is Carol Blomquist. Carol worked 268 3/4 hours. Aaron Boonstra. Aaron worked 164 hours in 2018. Ann Britton. Ann worked 133.5 hours in 2018. Wow. Alexander Delatorre. Alexander worked 157.25 hours. Barbara Dillaway. Barbara worked 142.75 hours. Ruth Hathorn. Ruth worked 120 hours last year. Josephine House. Josephine worked 184 hours in 2018.
I like your shiny stars looking good.
Here we go. Andrew Lamette. Andrew worked 173 and a half hours in 2018. Terry Landfair. Terry worked 100 and a quarter hours in 2018. And a special volunteer to announce because she was one of ours. She was ours in administration. Becky Nira worked 106.33 hours in 2018. Jacqueline Oyer. Jacqueline worked 158 and a half hours in 2018. Ann Pedro. Ann worked 122 hours in 2018. Josephine Ruler. Josephine worked 145 and a half hours in 2018. Joseph Sicilian. Joseph worked 140 and a half hours in 2018. And lastly, we have an astounding Brianna Theodore, who worked 310 hours, 310 and a quarter hours in 2018. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Please join me in thanking our super exceptionally talented staff who actually planned to produce today's Hollywood-themed event. Please stand. We'll make them all stand up. So if you're not already standing up, please stand as I call your name. Laura Farrell. Jessica Dice. Joanne Henley. Lily. Michelle Machado, standing back there. Liz Shake Malone, right back there with you. Sophia Petrakis. And Diane Ramirez. Thank you so much. Oh, a quick special thank you to Jackie Inman. I don't know if she's here today. A Newman Library volunteer. Oh, there you go. So Jackie created many of the decorations you see here today. And so our program is about to come to a close. On behalf of all of us at the Stanislaus County Library, thank you so much for your volunteer contribution. We could not do it without you, absolutely. And we love you all. And one more thing, actually two more things. Before you go, if you haven't selected a book, in the back room, we'll put on the back table. We'll put your name in the book, and it'll go on a book plate, and it'll go on the library collection to honor your service. So don't forget that. And then one other thing, Bob here would like to get all of our branch volunteers up here together.
Branch advisory groups.
Branch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every group that you're a member of, if you can come on up with your comrades, and Bob will take your picture up here. Because I think he missed some of you. All right. Thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful day.